Hi everyone, thanks for watching. This is my video for Capricorn in October 2015. How will the month of October go for Capricorn? Well, let's find out. I want to make a quick announcement first. I want to thank everybody for all of the views and recommendations and shares and likes that you've been giving me on YouTube recently. And I've been inspired to go ahead and set up a Patreon account. So, those of you who are in a position to leave me a tip and have felt these videos have been useful or helpful to you, well, go ahead and check it out. I'll include a link at the end of the video. And now, let's see what the cards have to say for Capricorn in October 2015. How will the month of October go for Capricorn? How will the month of October go for Capricorn? How will the month of October go for Capricorn? So, at the center of this reading, we have the Two of Pentacles. The two here represents a person. We have here, he's juggling these two pentacles, doing his best to keep them upright, to keep both in the air at the same time. Maybe he's not a very good juggler. After all, he is just a two. Well, and so Pentacles is the suit of wealth, money, and connections and whatnot. And the twos, all four of them, and all four suits, often refer to some kind of dilemma or a decision or a problem. Here, we have a figure who's doing his best, or doing her best, to balance and juggle these two different and perhaps contradictory or conflicting situations, concepts, jobs maybe, situations. And it's hard. It's up and down and up and down, and it's hard to keep everything in the air. Because you know what? These two things aren't both meant to be at the same time. You got to make a choice. You got to choose a path and to move forward. And here, it looks like the center of the reading is going to have to do with choosing a path regarding money, family, career, the world, the establishment bits of our lives, the things that make it possible for us to live and to keep going. But that's not easy. It's hard keeping these things up in the air because there's all this conflict around it. The Five here. Making this decision is not going to be easy because there's all kinds of different people surrounding with all their own ideas and all their own opinions, and trying to keep them happy and negotiate this situation. Make sure that you sort of navigate between them and their fights and their opinions and their conflicts and their loudmouth arguments is not easy. But that's what you got to do. You got to figure out, this reading I think is pointing in this direction. The idea is figuring out how to make a choice despite these people around, these conflicting ideas, these conflicting energy, these conflicting dynamic people. So, one of the things that's gotten you into this situation is a focus on reason. The Queen of Swords here, well, swords we have as the suit of thoughts and ideas. And the queens are all like ruling over your group, your family, your household, using this power to bring order and stability and to bring the powers of this suit to the people around you into your house, metaphorically. Now, it could be your literal house, or it could represent the people that you're sort of with, the ones you're together, your local community. And so the Queen of Swords is a figure who's very rational, attentive to detail, keeps track of all the little bits and pieces and makes sure everything's ordered right, but oftentimes is portrayed as a somewhat sad figure because her reason takes over at the expense of her heart and her emotions. And that's kind of got what's led to being here, paying too much attention to the rational thing to do, the right thing to do, the details, maybe not letting your heart and your intuition and your feelings guide you as much as they can. But that's going to change here. We have here, at the bottom, the Knight of Cups, going out into the world to find or to look for that which is emotionally fulfilling, that which can fill this cup of, and then allow you to look into it and see visions in the surface. Cups are both the ideas of intuition and the ideas of your emotions. And so you're looking, on the one hand, for something that will be emotionally fulfilling, but on the other hand, you're going out to look for something where you can start, you can build, something that you can accomplish, some way that you can make change in the world, to go out and burn away the old and create the new. And perhaps this is through to the conflict between changing the world, creating the new, and finding something that's emotionally satisfying for you. You've done your best to rationally balance these things, but you've ended up in a situation where this balance doesn't really work, and all it does is just make people unhappy. And so what it's resulted is that your ideas here, these swords and the 8, your ideas, instead of working for you, instead of being tools that you can use to cut away the rival ideas of others, have instead bound you into immobility, have prevented you from moving. After all, it's very easy for us to think ourselves into a cage, to think ourselves into a position where it seems like you can't do anything. There's no good action. You can't move forward. You can't move back. You have to just stick where you are because, well, I've thought about all the options and this is the right thing to do, I guess. Well, but sometimes that's true, but sometimes it's just a cage. Now, the challenge here at the base of the staff, we have the 3 of Pentacles. And so for the 3 Capricorn, it looks like the challenge here is going to be acknowledging that you're still at the beginning of this path. We got a worker here, moved on. He's not an apprentice still, but he's moved on to a journeyman, not yet his own master, but has accomplished enough to show off his own work and to start building his own client base. Something of a traditional image that has great relevance in the modern economy, I think. And so the idea here is working away at your own craft. The challenge is going to be focusing on your own skills and building up your own base here, instead of maybe your job working for someone else, or instead of thinking that you are already the master and are all ready to move on, and acknowledging that no, you still have a lot of work to do. Now, the people around you, though, are not making this easy because they are already established. They're already set up. Your family, your friends, your local group, or whatever, they seem like that they've already got it all. We got the 10 of Pentacles here, the old man enjoying the fruits of his prior labor. This guy is still just getting started. His dream, of course, the dream of the 3, is to move up to the 10, where he's got it all, he's made it all, and he just can sit back and relax and enjoy the fruits of of a lifetime of labor. And if everybody around you is kind of here, acknowledge that, no, I'm not there yet. I need to build up my own thing. That's not an easy step to take sometimes. It's not easy to acknowledge that, you're just a step behind. You're on your own path, and everybody else may be at their end, but you're not. You have places to go still, and you got work to do still. Hopes and dreams here, we have the 5. And this is not at all surprising. You're afraid of defeat. we have here a figure smirking in triumph, having beaten these two figures back, their swords on the ground, skulking off into the dark, sad sky. Well, and here, this spot in this Celtic cross spread is always the hopes and fears spot. And we have these two figures here representing your fears. We have this whole reading is saying you need to make a choice. You need to start moving forward and figure out what you're going to do. Whether you're going to focus on that which is emotionally satisfying, or whether you're going to focus on that which can bring change and create new things in the world. And yeah, you're afraid that you're going to fail. This is hardly surprising. You can't feel bad about it, though. Everybody's afraid of failure. We just have to move on. We cannot let these fears guide us or rule us. Here, though, the final outcome, we have another 2. Remember, the reading started with the 2. Here, the 2 of Pentacles. And here we have the 2 of Cups, making a decision to pursue that which is emotionally fulfilling. In this case, in the image here, a romantic relationship. These two are pledging themselves to each other. They are choosing to sort of exchange their cups in a symbolic symbol and join themselves together. And so sometimes this is a card that indicates that romance or love will come up. But in this particular reading, given the circumstances, this points at here. You need to do what you want to do. You need to follow your intuition and follow your heart in this case. That's the only thing that's going to allow you to break out of this bind, and that's going to really allow you to settle down and focus on your work and focus on your craft, is to do that which you know in your heart is best for you to do. Don't worry about the rationality of it. These ideas that you've built up before are just keeping you enchained. Don't worry about going out there and changing the world yet. You'll get there. But first, you got to go through this. You got to build yourself up and start from the beginning and hone your craft and build your audience. Find your customers. Find your fans. Then, when you've made that decision, when you've committed to the road, eventually, you can get around to being here. You can get around to this. But not quite yet. This one went on a little bit longer than usual, but I hope it's been informative. If you found this reading helpful, consider checking out my Patreon page and leaving me a tip. Also, I'm going to try to get a website up for individual readings. Keep your eyes peeled for that announcement. Thanks for watching.